It's the 24th day of June. A very good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining us for this edition of Channel 1 Weekend. It has been a very busy day. The war on contraband is ongoing. Today we saw the Amani National Congress leader Musalia Mudavadi call a press conference, of course, coming up with ideas as to how the government can finally slay the ghost of corruption, as well as rid this country of poisonous contrabands that are threatening to kill Kenyans. This and more lined up for you. And tonight, being a Sunday, John Jacob Kuria is here with Family Matters. And the topic tonight, I have to say, it is something that has grappled, or people have grappled with over the years, and Kenyans are also not an exemption when it comes to depression. Those details will be coming to you. But first, a look at the highlights.
Let us have a public commission of inquiry where facts shall be laid on the table and individuals shall be brought to answer. And that way, we shall know whether somebody is innocent or is complicit in this process.
ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi calls for the formation of a commission of inquiry as detectives close in on masterminds of contraband sugar.
Sisi hatujatupa mbao na hatujapoteza network. Sisi tuko chonjo na tuko rada na tunajua tunaelekea wapi.
Stop the false prophecies. Deputy President William Ruto says Jubilee is as united as ever. And wonders will never cease as a man is caught red-handed skinning a cat in Nakuru. Once again, thank you very much for joining us. And right now, John Jacob Kuria is in studio. JJ, I have to say that depression is something really serious, and not so many people are aware of this.
Absolutely, Edward Kabasa. It's quite a serious conversation and something that we need to talk about. And perhaps from my thoughts, is something we need to do, or we will continue doing for 2 or 3 Sundays, focusing on depression. Because, Kabasa, you can imagine that it is said, and the statistics are out there, that globally about 350 million people suffer from depression. And obviously when you look at that, that's a big statistic. And Kabasa, again, looking back, you realize there are a lot of prominent people that we see out here that are very happy and looking very dapper. But then again, you hear they have committed suicide out of depression. It's quite a serious case, and it's one of the biggest killers right now, more than domestic violence and other related abuses.
And of course, I know we do expect a lot from you tonight. Your guests are going to be dissecting this for us. And it is also important to mention that 2 weeks ago, one of the world's most renowned chefs, Anthony Bourdain, took his own life in Paris, France. Actually, he was in the middle of preparing a show. It is known as Parts Unknown by Anthony Bourdain.
It's quite sad, and obviously we are inviting our viewers to, to talk to us. I think there's a platform on which one can open up, because we have counseling psychologists, we have a religious leader, and we also have case studies of people who have actually recovered from depression. They can share their stories with us, and obviously we'll treat them with confidence, but obviously address those issues as they should be. And if they're serious cases, you can always refer them to somebody else who can actually help them. 22162 is our SMS line, 22162. You can tell us your experience with depression, but most importantly, if you need help, you can ask for it on 22162. You can also talk to us on Twitter at KBC Channel 1, at JKuria. The hashtag is Family Matters. I'm sure at Ed Kabasa. Also on Twitter, you can actually talk to us. And on Facebook, John Jacob Kuria, you can inbox me. I'll actually check it out. And you can also talk to us again on our email. That is familymatters at KBC. That is at kbc.co.ke. That is our email, official email, for the sake of this conversation. So continue speaking to us. It's quite a serious matter, and we'll be addressing it in about 30 minutes, Edward.
All right, thank you very much, JJ. Of course, I can't wait for that interview. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Wilson Mushora. Amani National Congress leader Musalia Mudavadi is now calling for the constitution of judicial commission of inquiry into the dumping of contraband sugar in the country. Mudavadi says the ongoing investigations may not yield meaningful success unless the country adopts a more proactive approach in the war against contraband. It has been one of the most controversial subjects in recent days, the crackdown of contraband sugar claimed to be laced with poisonous metals. And as the debate intensifies, ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi alleges that the complicity of some government officers has made it almost impossible to win the war on graft and counterfeits.
Evidently, there is a systemic problem with public institutions at the forefront of abating fraud, looting, and outright theft of public resources. After we had NYS 1 and then you have NYS 2, how can it happen that they can be happening very close to each other? Then that means there's still something inside there.
The Amani National Congress leader proposing the appointment of a judicial commission that will inquire into security threats posed by the dumping of contraband in the country.
With a commission of inquiry, it will be public hearings. Whistleblowers will be allowed to present their evidence. People will be interrogated publicly, and evidence adduced there will also help the investigative agencies in coming to the bottom of this.
Mudavadi argues that squabbles among investigative agencies in the ongoing probe will only complicate matters, rendering investigative efforts fruitless.
It is in the public domain that the cabinet secretaries have issued conflicting statements on contrabands. The government chemist and KEBS are also at variance in their findings.
In his proposal, Mudavadi wants the commission to investigate the Public Health Board, the Sugar Directorate, local sugar farms, the Treasury, the Kenya Bureau of Standards, the Kenya Ports Authority, and the Executive. The ANC leader spoke even as Kiambaa MP Paul Koinange called on the government to remain firm in the war against corruption, saying the vice is costing the country a fortune.
Let no leaders, if they really love this country, to stop saying that they are being targeted because of corruption.
The crackdown on contraband sugar has in the recent weeks gathered momentum amid varied opinions on calls to have licenses of companies dealing in the illicit trade cancelled.
As much as we have agreed we're going to fight this corruption, we must be sober, all of us. We must know it is something we must change. Si ya kuangaliana, si hii kabila ikishikwa, mimi nasema sasa waluya wangu wameshikwa. Ngine
Or the roots of corruption culture are indeed very deep in our Kenyan society, and we have no cure unless now the Christians go down on their knees and they start thinking ideas that we can start as a society and get rid of this vice which is really killing our people.
President William Ruto has moved to dispel rumors of a possible fallout with his boss, President Uhuru Kenyatta. Ruto says the narrative that the ruling Jubilee party was on the rocks was a creation of those intent on distracting the government's development agenda.
Deputy President William Ruto was in Nakuru County for the second day running in a charm offensive that seeks to consolidate his support. On this day, he was at Sogo in Nakuru South constituency for a fundraiser. Ruto opting to put the record straight on claims that Jubilee party has hit turbulence after the handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and opposition leader Raila Odinga.
Wamesema sijui kijana. Sasa wewe unaenda kujaza maneno kwa gazeti ya tangatanga na kijana. Mimi mwenyewe sijalalamika. Wewe unaenda kulalamika on my behalf kama nani?
The deputy president terming those pushing the narrative as tribal chiefs and false prophets.
Na manabii wa uongo na manabii wa kugawanya watu na matapeli wa ukabila wawachane na Jubilee. Sisi tunajua tumetoka wapi, tunajua tuko wapi, na tunajua tunaelekea wapi.
According to Ruto, Jubilee was not formed to win elections but to improve the lives of Kenyans.
Tuliunda Jubilee makusudi. It was not by default. It was not guesswork. It was by design.
Several leaders in attendance echoed Ruto's sentiments. The politicians saying that those thinking that Jubilee was poised to break were daydreaming.
Tell your detractors, na pia sisi tunawaeleza, you ignore a God-fearing man at your own peril.
Kama kutangatanga ni kukuja kuchangia kanisa, tutatangatanga. Kama kutangatanga ni kwenda kuchangia shule, watoto wapate shule, masomo, tutatangatanga.
The event saw several leaders initially seen as critics of Ruto change tune in his support.
Sisi tumekuja kusaidiana na wewe, na hatutaruhusu mtu yeyote atusi wewe, adharau wewe, akufanye kama hauna faida kwa Kenya tunakoelekea.
Gari tulikuwa tumepotezwa na ile ambayo yetu kutoka kule Bomet, tukajaribu kunyesha ikakataa.
The unity gospel within the Jubilee Brigade resonating with one of its senior politicians, National Assembly Majority Leader Aden Duale, tens of kilometers away in Garissa. Duale downplaying claims of a fallout within the ranks of the party.
We are more than ever united as a party. In 2015, we collapsed 15 parties into one party called Jubilee. Today, we have the highest number of governors.
The defense coming amid concerns of possible internal cold war between the party's top leadership following the newfound unity between President Kenyatta and opposition leader Raila Odinga. Samson Kitavi, Channel 1 News.
Thank you very much, Samson Kitavi, for that report. Drama unfolded outside Railway Police Station in Nakuru after supporters of detained Nakuru Town West MP Samuel Arama stormed the facility demanding his release. The legislator was forced to spend cold nights at the police cells after he was arrested on Friday over alleged 60 million shillings land fraud.
These were the scenes that characterized a railway police station in Nakuru earlier Sunday, when supporters of Nakuru Town West MP Samuel Arama staged a demonstration at the police station demanding the immediate release of the lawmaker. The protesters accusing the police of an attempt to intimidate their leader by denying him bond. It took a warning from police officers to have the rowdy youth dispersed from the police station.
You are going to create or to break any law. We are going to take action against you.
Earlier, Nakuru Town East MP David Gikaria had visited the MP, acknowledging that efforts to secure his release had proved futile.
He has accepted that fact, and he's ready to wait for tomorrow so that he can go before a court of law and see whether now justice can be done.
Arama, who was seized last Friday night in Nakuru Town by detectives from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, is accused of colluding with officials at the Lands Registry in Nakuru to fraudulently acquire a private piece of land. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Nordin Haji, has already approved charges against the legislator, with Arama set to face 6 counts in court tomorrow for abuse of office, conspiracy to defraud, making a document without authority, and altering a document with intent to deceive.
Lovers of barbecued meat in Nakuru Town were left asking hard questions after a man was busted skinning a cat. Yes, a cat. James Mukangi, who consented to having been in the business for a while, was caught red-handed skinning the innocent animal at an open field. Quick action by police saved them from lynching.
Just what was the motivation of this man? A question that saw residents of Ukulima area in Nakuru County descend on James Mukangi after they found him skinning a cat. The irate crowd descending on him with kicks and blows, angered by the realization that they could have been feasting on cat's meat disguised as barbecued goat meat.
Walikuwa na ghadhabu kiasi cha kumchapa, but polisi waliletea ripoti wakakimbia pale na kumuokoa.
Nimesangaa kuona baga inachinjwa binadamu wanatumia. Nikusangaa wakati mwingi tunaambiwa tuwe na afya, lakini nimestuka sana.
Their fears confirmed after the suspect conceded to have been skinning cats for sale to some clients in town over the past 7 years, with his clients selling the product to unsuspecting customers.
Nauzaga tau para Kariara.
Wapi?
Kariara.
Kariara.
Ehe. Hapo ndo ninauzaga na pesa 600.
Okay. Kwa pesa ngapi kwa paka moja?
Paka moja ukitoa ngozi ni 500. Nimeuza wengi. Karibu 1000 hivi.
Karibu 1000.
Residents calling for the arrest of the cartel of meat traders.
Whoever is doing this business and the person knows very well that he's taking a meat that is not supposed to be consumption by a human being, that person is just doing a wrong thing.
Nakuru County Veterinary Officer Gedui Kaba saying it's illegal to sell uninspected meat.
This is criminal activity. This is criminal, and in fact, according to the Police Act, it's criminal. It's also against the law, according to the Meat Control Act. According to the Public Health, it's also illegal to eat uninspected meat.
Police officers from the nearby Ukulima police post rescued the man who had already received a beating from the irate mob. The suspect is now in police custody, awaiting arraignment in court on Monday.
I wonder what kind of delicacy is making using that kind of meat. But in other matters, the Kenyan youth has found opportunities limited with the resulting challenges, presenting the government with its greatest headache yet as it seeks to empower the critical group that forms the bulk of the populace. It is even more challenging for those in the slums whose fate conspired to deny them even the basic of opportunities. But as Channel 1's Caroline Kamau reports, a new concept that seeks to equip vulnerable populations living within the city's informal settlement with the requisite technological skills could just be the proverbial magic key to tapping the potential of the disadvantaged youth.
Meet young Kevin Olenyo. He has grown up here in the expansive Nakuru slums. He knows only too well the challenges of growing up in such an environment.
Nimepitia changamoto mingi za hapa na pale. Unapata unaenda shule, hauna anything, you are starting from zero. Mazingira yenye iko hapa hivi unapata ni mazingira ambayo hayafai, hayakuwezeshi kuweza kufanikisha masomo yako.
Though he was determined to go through school, he admits keeping his grades up was not easy, but his resolve to achieve his childhood dreams remained undeterred.
Hizi nyumba zenye tunakaa ndani, unapata ukienda kusoma, mtu wako hapo hivyo ameasha redio, anakupigia kelele, ukitoka nje, unapata kuna mtaro, yani unaishi tu ile maisha ya kuvumilia kwa sababu hauna anything yenye inaweza kusaidia in life. Na hapo ndo wazazi wako wamefika.
Many of his age mates, he tells me, were not so lucky.
Story ya wale watu tulikuwa tunasoma na wao, most of them wamekufa, wamepigwa risasi, walikuwa wezi. But mi na thank God kwa sababu hata kama naishi kwa Nakuru slums, I thank God kwa sababu yeye ameniokoa, amenilinda, sijaiba.
Many young people growing up in such an environment are faced with many social challenges, and the choice to stay in school and walk a straight path is not always easy.
Unapata kijana amesoma, amefika high school, amepita vizuri, unapata pesa ya kwenda university ama college ndio imekuwa shida. So utapata huyo kijana ameacha hizo vitu zenye amesahau story ya shule, utapata ameanza kuingia kwa miadarati, unapata ameanza kukunywa pombe, unapata ameanza kufanya zile vitu zenye zifai. Kama ni msichana unampata ako koinange, unapata anafanya vitu zenye hazistahili kwa community.
A student of the Nakuru Training Center now, he is on the path to bettering his life, crediting the state of affairs to the collaboration of the school with MTN Kenya.
They have really assisted me. Na wamesaidia watu wengi sana. Naweza kuja hapa shule, nitengeneze business cards, niweke kwa flash disk, then niende kwa cyber, niziprint, then niuzie watu.
In its 21 Days of Yellow Care 2018 campaign, which aims to start life-transformative projects, the organization revamped the school's computer lab that is also internet-enabled.
So when we talk of youth empowerment, we know across our market how much unemployment is affecting the societies within we live in. So we looked at a center where we could not only empower them, but also try and create that kind of employment for these young people.
Olenyo says such partnerships should be encouraged in society to help uplift the lives of youth in the country. MTN's Managing Director, Kennedy Chinganya, says the organization is committed to empowering young people with opportunities, especially those in disadvantaged backgrounds.
By giving them internet, it is going to help them to know what is happening outside and also be able to be taken technologically able to expand within the entrepreneurship that they are looking into. So for us to give them internet is an enabler to empower them even more. And the whole reason for that is if we are to eradicate unemployment and poverty in our society, these forums are very, very important for us. If we are to lead in the delivery of this broad digital world that we keep on talking about, it needs to start from the grassroots. And the grassroots is these young people that we've been talking to today. So it is very critical for us that we start in pushing them through the system so that they're able actually to know what is happening out there.
Now, despite the challenges, Olenyo says the Kenyan youth must not give up, saying a little support from like-minded organizations would go a long way in uplifting their status. Caroline Kamar reporting for Channel 1 Weekend.
To the counties now, where 3 suspects have been arrested and more than 60 bags of charcoal impounded along Namanga Road in a major charcoal crackdown by police officers in Kajiado County. Elsewhere, border operators at Umande Trading Center in Laikipia East have vowed to stay put at border shed that is the center of a dispute over its ownership.
3 suspects await their day in court on Monday after they were arrested at Jubilee in Kajiado County while transporting more than 60 bags of charcoal to Nairobi. Jubilee's Assistant County Commissioner James Mbuto assured the crackdown will continue until the law prohibiting logging and charcoal burning is upheld.
This war will continue throughout the division. The other day we were in Maparasha. We burnt a number of killings, and this fight will continue.
In Nyanyuki, border operators claim their lives are in danger due to a smearing row over ownership of a border shed in Umande Trading Center. They claim the area member of parliament and a local investor who own a piece of land adjacent to the shed are behind their walls. Elsewhere, a section of non-governmental organizations in Kilifi County are raising the red flag over increased cases of gender-based violence, teenage pregnancies and early marriages in the region, which they say are to blame for the rising cases of young girls dropping out of school.
We'll work together with other departments to make sure that we get into a very intensive sensitization strategy all over the county, in the urban and in the rural areas, in the hard-to-reach areas, to make sure that the community understands and the girl child's voice also comes out very clearly towards her protection.
And more than 5,000 residents of Tetu constituency are said to benefit from a multi-million shillings water project funded by the national government. Phase 1 of the project is nearing completion and will serve residents of Gathuki, Gaki and Wamagana wards.
The use of irrigation, we are able to do crop twice in a year, and therefore the farmers will increase their income twice compared to what they are earning currently.
Meanwhile, the government has been challenged to partner with institutions of higher learning to develop innovations geared towards actualizing President Uhuru Kenyatta's Big Four agenda. Speaking during the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture Alumni Convention, JQAT Alumni and International Students Office Director Dr. Churchill Soake said universities remain a fertile ground for progressive ideas that could transform the fortunes of the country.
In terms of implementation of the Big Four, the university can play a big role as being the think tanks, those who will be able to give knowledge and capacity that is required to implement some of these programs.
Elsewhere, tension is mounting along the Tana River Kitui common border following fears of renewed conflict over pasture. Mwingi's Central Member of Parliament Gideon Mulungui is urging authorities to take immediate action to avert possible clashes over grazing land between communities living along the border.
Na kuna ngamia ambayo inakuja hapa kukunywa maji kwa minanda yetu ile ambayo tumetengenezwa na kaunti yetu. Huku kwetu atulishi ngamia. Hiyo minanda imetengenezwa ng'ombe zetu na mbuzi zetu na kuchota maji yetu ya kukunywa.
And finally, 42 teams drawn from the various counties participated in water rafting games at River Sagana to raise funds for cancer patients. According to Sharia Adamali, a director at Faraja Cancer Support, one of the organizers said this year that the event raised 5.5 million shillings compared to 3.6 million shillings last year.
So this year we had 42 teams. It's the biggest we've had. From a whole range of companies, individuals, and we hope that we will have raised about 5.5 million shillings today.
Linus Moshigadi for Channel 1 News.
Thank you very much, Linus, for that report. We are taking a short break, but don't go too far. Well, Home is going to be here with the day's sports plus. Of course, remember, after the news, John Jacob Curia will be here. He's already here, but his guests are going to be joining him. The topic of discussion tonight is depression. Are you going through the same? You can interact with him. Please send him a text message. The number is 22162. You can also tweet him at KBC Channel 1. Don't go too far.
What does Allahu Akbar really mean?
As Muslims, we need to see that there is a hijack of our religion.
Allahu Akbar.
They have no right at all to use that term.
Allahu Akbar. Reclaiming our Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Everybody, Gwanda!
Good evening and welcome to Channel 1 Sport. Former Kenya Basketball Federation Women's Premier League champions Equity Hawks trounced Strathmore University 62-33 in a one-sided league match played at the United States International University outdoor court.
Equity Hawks, who have so far lost only one league match this season to defending champions KPA, took control of the match from the opening minutes. Led by Kenya internationals Hilda Indasi and Samba Mjomba, the Bankers won the first quarter 18-4.
Yes,
Strathmore under veteran coach Ronnie Owino fought hard in the second quarter but could not match their superior opponents, losing the quarter 14-5 to send the match into the breather, Equity Hawks leading 32-9. After resumption, Equity rested some of their dependable players, allowing the students to back the third quarter 14-13. The former league champions went on to win the fourth quarter 16-10 to register a comfortable 62-33 points victory.
If you look at how I'm making my substitutions, I'm trying to make sure that everybody gets a chance of playing, and that is really helping me because I'm giving every player a chance so that they are able to get in the level that I want. And by the time we get into zone 5, trust me, I'll be having the right team that can go and bring the trophy back home.
Wameingana vizuri kwa sababu hao pia wamecheza hii ligi ya mashindano kalikali. Ingekuwa wametoka chini kukuja hapa ndio ingekuwa ngumu, lakini wameingana vizuri. So far tunaendelea vizuri. Hata tukicheza kwa kiwanja huwezi jua kuwa tumeleta wageni katika timu yetu.
In other matches, Little Prince saw for Christ 54-43 points, Zitek University lost 37-32 points to Emiba, Mount Kenya University trounced Uldi Knights 48-45 points, while Gladiators lost 43-33 points to African Nazarene University in the Women's Division 1 League. Karanja David for Weekend Sports.
Mount Kenya Chargers booked a ticket to the finals of the ongoing South India Cricket Tournament today after beating Masai Mara Tuskers by 21 runs at the Nairobi Gymkhana grounds in Nairobi. This marked their second victory of the tournament after beating defending champions Coast Super Kings in their first match last weekend. Masai Mara won the toss and opted to field, restricting the winners to 147 for the loss of 7 wickets in 20 overs. Which included a hat-trick from 17-year-old youngster Siddhar Pradeep Vasudaya. Masai Mara then failed to chase the target of 147 runs as they could only manage to score 126 runs, 4-7 in 20 overs, following superb fielding from Mount Kenya, which saw Prasant Srinivas grab 3 wickets, while Abhishek Chidambaram took 2 wickets.
Masai Mara then failed to chase the target of 147 runs as they could only manage 126 runs for 7 in 20 overs, following superb fielding from Mount Kenya, which saw Prasant Srivinas grab 3 wickets while Abhishek Chidam took 2. In the second match of the day, Coast Super Kings beat Rift Valley Challengers by 54 runs. The other finalists who will play Mount Kenya Chargers in the final will be known next weekend.
So we continue where Ifantas Mogo garnered 38 points to win the Kiambu Golf Championship, which ended yesterday at the club. The 2-day event attracted more than 200 golfers.
Ifantas Mugo garnered 38 points to win the Kiambu Golf Club Championship, which ended yesterday at the club. Mugo could not be matched in the event, which attracted over 200 players to win the overall prize ahead of Michael Karanga, who settled for second position. The best lady in the event was Hilda Njeri, who won the longest drive award.
Our objective is, like I said, to promote local tourism, and we are going to take